Good morning, children. In the previous session, we have seen what is probability, what are the basic terminologies we'll be using in probability, or what are the basic concepts of probability, and what are the different definitions of probability, like mathematical definition or classical definition, empirical definition, axiomatic approach to probability, and the various properties. Now here we'll see in today's session, we'll see some of the theorems based on this probability. So here we'll start with the simple theorem. The probability of the impossible event is 0. That is, P of phi is equals to 0. So how to prove this? We know that S union phi is equals to S. What is this S? S is the sample space. So when you combine this sample space with a null set, you will get sample space itself. So S union phi is equals to S. Now taking probability on both sides, when I'm applying probability on both the sides, I'll get P of S union phi is equals to P of S. Now here, since null set and sample space both are disjoint, you will not have any common part in those two. That means both are mutually disjoint events. So we'll use axiom 3. What is axiom 3? Axiom of positivity. So if the events are disjoint, then their union will give you some of their individual probabilities. So P of S union phi, I'll write it as P of S plus P of Y is equals to P of S as it is. Now from the axiom of certainty, which is axiom 2, what you have, the probability of total sample space is always equal to 1. So here wherever you have P of S, I'll substitute it is as 1. So here I'm substituting here as 1 plus P of Y is equals to 1. On simplifying this, you'll get P of I equal to 0. So the probability of the impossible event is always 0. Next theorem, the probability of the complementary event A complement of A is given by P of A complement equal to 1 minus P of A. How to prove this? See here, A and A complement are mutually disjoint events. How they are mutually disjoint? Suppose I have a set of 10 numbers. A is set of even numbers. So set of even numbers means what will be A values? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Then what will be A complement? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So you don't have any common part in these two sets, A and A complement. So those are called as mutually disjoint events. And when you combine these two, when I combine this A and A complement, you will get the total sample space, 1 to 10 numbers you will get. So here also same thing I have written. A and A complement are mutually disjoint and together they form the whole sample space. That is A union A complement is equals to S. Now again apply probability on both the sides. So you'll get P of A union A complement equal to P of S. Because they are disjoint, here we have given they are mutually disjoint. So you have to use axiom 3, that is axiom of additivity. So P of A plus P of A complement equal to P of S. Again from axiom of certainty, that is axiom 2, it is not 1, sorry, here it should be 2. From axiom of certainty, P of S is equals to 1. So in place of P of S, I have written here 1. So P of A complement will be equal to 1 minus P of A. Hence proved. Next, third theorem. What is this third theorem? If B is a subset of A, then you have to prove these two. P of A, B, A intersection B complement is equals to P of A minus P of B. And P of B is always less than P of A because B is a subset of A. This we have to prove it. Now to prove this, we'll consider this Venn diagram. Suppose this rectangle is a sample space. You have a set A or you have an event A. Now here B is subset of A means what? B is contained in A. B is a part of A. When we say B is a subset of A means B is part of A. So this, when this big circle is A, because B is contained in A, B will be inside this big circle. So this small circle is B. So here I have given mentioned here as it is mentioned, this big circle is A, small circle is B, And the space between this big circle and small circle is called as A intersection B complement. Using this Venn diagram, we'll prove this. See here, when B is a subset of A, then this B and A intersection B complement are mutually disjoint. They don't have any common part. So now I can write this A as this B union A intersection B complement. This and this combined together will form the whole set A. So A I'll be writing as B union A intersection B complement. Again, taking probability on both the sides, you'll get P of A is equals to P of B union A intersection B complement. Or P of A equal to P of B plus P of A intersection B complement using axiom 3. P of A intersection, we're simplifying this. I'm taking it to the left side. We'll get P of A intersection B complement equal to P of A minus P of B, which is proved. Second one, what we have to prove, probability of B is less than or equal to P of A, provided B is a subset of A. Now how to prove that? Now we have this, in the first one we have proved that P of A intersection B complement equal to P of A minus P of B. But any probability is always greater than or equal to 0 as per the axiom of positivity, which is first axiom. So here this probability will be greater than or equal to 0. So P of A intersection B complement greater than or equal to 0. Now what is P of A intersection B complement? We have proved P of A minus P of B. So in place of this, I'm substituting P of A minus P of B. So this is greater than or equal to 0. So it implies what? P of B is less than or equal to P of A. Hence it is proved. Next, fourth theorem. For any two events A and B, we have P of A complement intersection B equal to P of B minus P of A intersection B, and P of A intersection B complement equal to P of A minus P of A intersection B. These are any two events. He is not telling whether they are disjoint events or what. So to prove this theorem, we will consider this Venn diagram. Okay, this is the whole sample space. You have two sets A and B. So this common is called as A intersection B. Excluding this common part, the remaining part of B is called as A complement intersection B. Similarly, excluding this A intersection B part, the remaining part in A is called as A intersection B complement. Okay, so here from this, to prove the first one, from the Venn diagram, this B, this whole set B, I can write it as, see, this whole set B contains two parts. One is A intersection B and another one is A complement intersection B. So when I combine these two parts, I'll get the whole B part. So I can write B as A intersection B union A complement intersection B. Now since now these two are disjoint, you don't have any common part in this part and the remaining part. They are not overlapping. So they are disjoint events. So hence by axiom 3, this P of B will be equal to P of A intersection B plus P of A complement intersection B. Or else I'm taking this to this side. From this, you have to prove in terms of A complement intersection B. That's why. So P of A complement intersection B will be equal to P of B minus P of A intersection B. Similarly, to prove the second one, A intersection B complement, we have to find. For that, I'll consider this set because here we have A intersection B complement. Now this A also, similarly here, A also can be written as A intersection B complement plus A intersection B. That means when you combine these two, you'll get the whole set A. So A, I'm writing it as A intersection B complement union A intersection B. Now taking probability on both the sides. In place of union, you'll get plus. You will not have any minus values here because they are disjoint. Now from this, rearranging this, you'll get P of A intersection B complement equal to P of A minus P of A intersection B. Hence both of these are proved. Now this is the important theorem known as addition theorem of probability. First we'll consider for two events. So it's one of the important theorems in probability. You might have probably done in set theory also. So same procedure you will be having in probability also. So if A and B are any, this is the statement for addition theorem of probability for two events. If A and B are any two events, which are subsets of the sample space S and are not disjoint. They are not disjoint. Okay? That means they have some common part in them. They are not disjoint. Then P of A union B is equals to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. Now to prove this, we'll consider the same Venn diagram which we have considered in the previous theorem. So same Venn diagram I am taking. Here you have to find A union B. So I am here considering first A union B. This A and union I'll write as it is. So this B, how I can express. So A union B means A means this whole part. So this whole part already I have written as A. Now leftover part is A complement intersection B. So A complement intersection B. Now these two are disjoint, mutually disjoint. See, this is one and this not shaded part is the another event. So you don't have any common part in these two. So they are disjoint events, mutually disjoint events. Now also A complement intersection B. How can I write A complement intersection B? This whole part, this set part, whole part is B minus A intersection B will give you this white part. White part is nothing but A complement intersection B. Repeating. See this A complement intersection B, I can write it as this whole part B minus this part. Then you will get this part. Okay? So A complement intersection B will be B minus A intersection B. That is what I've written here. So A complement intersection B is B minus A intersection B. Likewise, A intersection B complement will be what? This whole part A minus A intersection B. Okay? Now what is P of A union B? Now substitute that. Now taking probability on both the sides, we'll get P of A union B equal to P of A union A complement intersection B, which is equal to P of A plus P of A complement intersection B because they are disjoint, mutually disjoint. So we are using axiom 3. P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of A complement intersection B. Here we have done. This is nothing but B minus A intersection B. So in place of this, we have substituted P of B minus P of A intersection B. Hence, it is proved for two events. Now we'll see general law of addition theorem of probability, or it is also called as addition theorem of probability for n events. So it is little bit confusing. Generally in exams, they won't give you statements also. They'll directly ask question like state and prove addition theorem of probability for n events. Then you should remember the statement also along with the proof. So first we'll see what is the statement. See for n events, suppose I have n events E1, E2 up to En. Then the addition theorem of probability for n events is given as P of union of Ei. I is from 1 to n. Union of Ei, I is from 1 to n means what? P of E1 union, E2 union, so on up to union En. So this is equals to summation I is from 1 to n P of Ei minus double summation 1 less than or equal to I less than j, j less than or equal to n, P of Ei intersection Ej plus triple summation 1 less than or equal to I less than j, j less than k less than or equal to n, P of Ei intersection Ej intersection Ek plus so on plus minus 1 whole to the power of n minus 1 into P of E1 intersection E2 intersection so on intersection up to En. So this is the statement of general law of addition theorem of probability for n events. So to prove this, we'll use the principle of mathematical induction. So to use principle of mathematical induction, what we should do? We should prove that this theorem is true for any positive integral value of this n, small n. So first I'll take n equal to 2. Why we are not taking n equal to 1? Because for adding we need at least 2 elements or 2 events. So here I am taking from n equal to 2. So here let n equal to 2. When I am taking n equal to 2, what we have to prove? Only for 2 events we have to prove. That is P of E1 union E2 is equals to P of E1 plus P of E2 minus P of E1 intersection E2. Now for these two events, already we have done in the previous theorem. Previous theorem was for two events only. There we have taken A and B. Instead of E1, E2, we have taken A and B. So same proof will be there for this also. Only the notations are changing. There we have denoted the events as A and B, and here we are denoting the events as E1 and E2 for two events. So here same proof we'll see E1 union E2. Here I am considering this Venn diagram. So E1 union E2 is equals to E1 union E2. In place of E2 I can write E1 complement intersection E2. Again E1 complement intersection E2. How I can write this whole E2 minus this E1 intersection E2. So this E1 complement in E2, E1 complement intersection E2, I'm writing it as E2 minus E1 intersection E2. So we are getting P of E1 union E2 is equals to P of E1 plus P of E2 minus P of E1 intersection E2. So it is, the result is true for n equal to 2. Now we suppose that the result is true for n equal to, say, a positive integer r. So when we assume that it is true for the positive integer n equal to r, it means what? P of union ei, I is from 1 to r will be equal to summation, wherever we have n, in place of that we'll write r. I is from 1 to r, P of ei minus double summation 1 less than or equal to I less than j less than or equal to r, P of ei intersection ej plus triple summation 1 less than or equal to I less than j less than k less than or equal to r, P of ei intersection ej intersection ek plus so on plus minus 1 to the power of r minus 1, P of E1 intersection E2 intersection so on up to intersection ER. Now for two events, the result which we got, I am denoting it as equation 1. For R events, for n equal to R, I am denoting the resultant equation as equation 2. Now we have to prove that it is true for n equal to R plus 1. So what I'll do here, wherever we have n, I'll write R plus 1. So what we have to prove? Probability of union ei, I is from 1 to R plus 1. It means what? Union I is from 1 to R plus 1, ei means what? E1, union E2, union E3, union E4, union so on up to union ER and union ER plus 1. Okay, that is what we have. So what I'll do, I'll split this into two events. One is R events, another one is R plus 1. So here I'm writing it as union ei, I is from 1 to R, union ER plus 1. So when I combine these two, again you'll get this union ei, I is from 1 to R plus 1 only. Okay, so I'm splitting this union into two parts. One is I is from 1 to R, then union ER plus 1. So here, now this is of this form, equation 1 form. This is one event and this is another event. Now this is E1 type and this is E2 type. That means I'm considering this whole union as one event and this ER plus 1 as one event. So I have two events now. So I'll apply this equation, equation 1. P of E1 union E2 is equals to P of E1 plus P of E2 minus P of E1 intersection E2. So what I should write this here? P of E1 means P of union EI plus P of E2 means P of ER plus 1 minus P of E1 intersection E2 means minus P of union EI over R intersection ER plus 1. So that is what I have written here. So using equation 1. This is P of union EI, I is from 1 to R plus P of ER plus 1 minus P of union EI, I is from 1 to R intersection ER plus 1. You'll see this first two terms I'm writing as it is. This third time union I'm taking it common. So this will be EI intersection ER plus 1 using distributive law. So applying distributive law, I'm taking this union outside. This is EI intersection ER plus 1. Now what is this P of union EI, I is from 1 to R? This is for R equal, N equal to R events. That we have shown it in equation 2. So P of union EI, I is from 1 to R is this whole equation 2. So in place of this, wherever I have this, I'll write all this equation. So here in place of this, I'll write the complete equation. Summation P of EI, I is from 1 to R, minus double summation EI intersection EJ plus triple summation EI intersection EJ intersection EK minus 1 to the power of R minus 1 E1 intersection E2 intersection ER. Okay, so till this whole term, this first term is represented by this whole expression till here. Then plus this P of ER plus 1 minus this probability P of union EI intersection ER plus 1. So this expression we got it using equation 2. That is what written here. Now here you have summation I is from 1 to R P of EI plus you have another probability P of ER plus 1. So I can combine this P of ER plus 1 and this summation. When I combine these two terms, I can write the summation is over I is from 1 to R plus 1. Instead of I'll get R plus 1 because I'm combining this with this term also. R plus 1 at the term also I'm combining in this. So this will be I equal to 1 to R plus 1 P of EI minus, again these three terms will be as it is. Then minus this part you have. Now what is this part? I got this as probability of union I is from 1 to R, EI intersection ER plus 1. See, compare this probability with this probability. See, here I have P of union EI, I is from 1 to R. Here also I have the same term P of UI, P of union I 1 to R, but instead of EI, I have EI intersection ER plus 1. So this and this are same, have the same expression, but only the events are changing. Here you have only EI event, here you have EI intersection ER plus 1 event. So again I'll use equation 2. What is equation 2? The expression this one is we got from equation 2. So I'll express this, okay, using equation 2. That is using this equation. So wherever I have EI, I'll write EI intersection ER plus 1 in this equation. That I'll substitute here. So summation P of EI intersection ER plus 1 minus double summation EI intersection EJ intersection ER plus 1 plus so on minus 1 to the power of R minus 1 P of EI intersection ER intersection ER plus 1. Again using equation 2. Now I have single summation here. I'm writing the single summation outside with single event. Okay. Probabilities with single event I'm writing here. Combine the probabilities with similar number of events. So here with single event I have only one probability. I'm writing it as it is. Then with two events I have EI intersection EJ. Then I have here EI intersection ER plus 1. So I'll combine these two. So when I combine these two, I'm taking minus common. Here I have minus. Here also I have minus. So I'm taking minus common. I get double summation P of EI intersection EJ plus P of EI intersection ER plus 1. Then again plus probability with three events. Here I have three events. Here I have three events. So combine those three events. Then the remaining parts, when this one, this last expression and this expression are combined, we'll get minus 1 to the power of R, P of EI intersection E2 intersection ER plus 1. Now simplifying this for probability of single event, I'll write as it is minus. Here you have probability of two events. Here I have EI intersection EJ, EI intersection ER plus 1. So I'm combining these two. When I combine these two, what I'll get double summation 1 less than or equal to I less than J less than or equal to R plus 1 because I'm combining R plus 1 term with this. So I'll get P of EI intersection EJ plus triple summation. Similarly here also R plus 1 I'm combining here. So here it's summation over summation I'll get R plus 1. EI intersection EJ intersection EK plus so on plus minus 1 power R. P of E1 intersection E2 intersection ER. So here also we got the same expression as we have in the statement for n events. So what we conclude here, the result is true for n equal to R plus 1 events also. So we have seen the result is true for n equal to 2 events, n equal to R events, and n equal to R plus 1 events. So by the principle of mathematical induction, the result holds true for all positive integral values of n. So this is how you have to prove the general law of addition theorem of probability. Next you have independent events and conditional probability. What are independent events and what are conditional probability? So independent events means what? Two events, as I have given you in the definitions in basic concepts. I told you what are independent events. Events are said to be independent if the happening of one event does not affect and is not affected by the happening of the other events. So in terms of probability, when will you say the events are independent? So whenever P of A intersection B is equals to P of A into P of B, then we say that A and B are independent events. So this is the condition for independency of the events. So two events A and B are said to be independent if and only if P of A intersection B is equals to P of A into P of B. Now what is conditional probability? Conditional probability means there will be some condition for the happening of one event. So what is that? So the probability of happening of an event A, given that the event B has already happened. So suppose if we consider two events A and B, then the probability of happening of the event E, given that the other event B has already happened, is called as conditional probability. How will you denote it? We denote it as P of A by B. And how will you define it? P of A by B is P of A intersection B by P of B, because P of B has already happened. So that will be the denominator part. Similarly, P of B by A, that is conditional probability of B given A has already happened, is equals to P of A intersection B by P of A, provided both these probabilities should be greater than 0 because they are in the denominator. So this is conditional probability. Then what is pairwise and mutually independent events? What is pairwise independent events? See, if I have, suppose here in the definition given you n events, I'll take only 3 events. Suppose I have A, B and C. Now when will I say this A, B and C are pairwise independent? When P of independent event condition is what? If A and B are independent, you have P of A intersection B is equals to P of A into P of B. Pairwise independence means if you have 3 events, you have to see pairwise. So when I'm taking A and B as one pair, P of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B. And if I'm taking the other pair B and C, P of B intersection C is equal to P of B into P of C. And the other pair is, third pair is A and C. P of A intersection C is equal to P of A into P of C. Then these 3 events are called as pairwise independent events. That is the definition of pairwise. So suppose here I am given the definition for n events. A set of events E1, E2 up to En are said to be pairwise independent if every pair of different events are independent. Okay? That is P of Ei intersection Ej is equals to P of Ei into P of Ej for all I and j values, and I is not equal to j. Then mutually independent events. See, events are said to be, events A, B and C are said to be mutually independent if the following conditions are simultaneously satisfied. All these conditions should be satisfied, only then we call them as mutually independent events. If only these first 3 conditions, as I told you, if only these first 3 conditions are satisfied, then they are called as pairwise independent events. If intersection of all the 3 events is equals to product of their individual probabilities, then that is known as mutually independent events. So in mutually independent events, it should satisfy all these 4 conditions. Okay? That is P of A intersection B equal to P of A into P of B, P of B intersection C equal to P of B into P of C, P of A intersection C equal to P of A into P of C, and P of A intersection B intersection C is equals to P of A into P of B into P of C. Now based on this conditional probability or independent events, you have multiplication theorems. So first we'll see multiplication theorem for 2 events. So what is the statement? The probability of the simultaneous occurrence of 2 events A and B is equal to product of the probability of one of these events and the conditional probability of the other event given that the first one has occurred. Okay. So how will you express this in the form of notations? They are given the probability of the simultaneous occurrence of two events and A and B. Simultaneous occurrence of A and B means both the events occur at the same time. So probability of A intersection B. So probability of simultaneous occurrence of two events A and B is equal to product of, this is product of the probability of one of these events, here I have taken A, and the conditional probability of the other given that the first one has occurred. So if I am taking two events A and B, P of A intersection B will be equal to P of A into P of B by A, or conditional probability of B given A, or I can also write it as P of A intersection B equal to P of B into P of A by B. If you get here A, here also you should get A. Here if you get B, then given condition should be B. So here P of B by A represents the conditional probability of occurrence of B when the event A has already occurred. P of A by B represents the conditional probability of occurrence of A when the event B had already happened. So this is the statement of multiplication theorem for two events. Now we'll see how to prove this theorem. So in set theory, in usual notations, in probability also, what is probability of an event? Number of favorable events by total number of exhaustive events. So here P of A is number of times the event A occurs divided by total number of observations in the sample space S. So that we denote it as P of A equal to N of A by N of S. Similarly, P of B will be N of B by N of S. P of A intersection B is equal to N of A intersection B by N of S. Now for the conditional probability, for the conditional event A by B, the favorable outcomes must be one of the sample points of B, because this has already occurred. That is, for the event A by B, the sample space will be B. So out of the N of B sample points, N of A intersection B pertains to the occurrence of the event A. So here P of A by B, we can write it as N of A intersection B by N of B. So from this, N of A intersection B is equals to simplification. N of A intersection B will be P of A by B into N of B. Now what is P of A intersection B here? You have P of A intersection B equal to N into A intersection B by N of B. So here in place of N into A intersection B, so from this, what is N into A intersection B? What you will get? N into A intersection B, we got P of A by B into N of B. See, P of A intersection B is N of A intersection B by N of S. You have this. Also, P of A by B is N of A intersection B by N of B. From this expression, N of A intersection B is P of A by B into N of B. So in place of this N of A intersection B, I can write this part. I can substitute this. Okay. So P of A intersection B will be what? P of A by B into N of B. So I'm writing that P of A by B into N of B by N of S. Here you have N of S. So this is equals to P of A by B into N of B by N of S is what? P of B. So we got P of A intersection B is equals to P of A by B into P of B. See, this one we have proved. Similarly, P of B by A is equals to N of A intersection B by N of A, or N of A intersection B is equals to P of B by A into N of A. So P of A intersection B will be this whole part divided by S. So N of A by N of S is this P of A, sorry, this is wrong. P of B by A into P of A. So that is for two events. Similarly, you have multiplication theorem of probability for n events. It is called as extension of multiplication theorem of probability to n events. So first we'll see the statement, then we'll see the proof. Now what is the statement for n events A1, A2 up to An? We have P of A1 intersection A2 intersection An is equals to P of A1 into P of A2 given A1 into P of A3 given A1 intersection A2 into so on. P of an given a1 intersection a2 intersection an minus 1. So here also we'll be using principle of mathematical induction. We'll take for n equal to 2, n equal to 3, n equal to r, and n equal to r plus 1. If we get the same expression like this, then it is true for all positive integral values of n. So here I'm taking n equal to 2, already we have proved it. So instead of there we have taken a and b, here I'm taking a1 and a2. So p of a1, n of a1 by n of s, p of a2, n of a2 by n of s, p of a1 intersection a2 will be n of a1 intersection a2 by n of s. So from this, what is p of a2 given a1? P of a2 given a1 is n of a1 intersection a2 by n of a1. Because for this conditional probability, whatever given is there, that will be the sample space. So from this, n of a1 intersection a2 will be p of a2 by a1 into n of a1. Now p of a1 intersection a2 is equals to this n of a1 intersection a2 term is there. No? In place of this, I'll write this. So p of a2 by a1 into n of a1 by n of s. This is p of a1. So we got p of a1 intersection a2 equal to p of a1 into p of a2 by a1. See here. If I take only till here a1 intersection a2, only 2 events, I should get p of a1 into p of a2 by a1, only for 2 events. So I got this expression for 2 events. So it is true for n equal to 2 events. Now n equal to 3 events, p of a1 intersection a2 intersection a3, this is equals to p of a1 intersection a2 intersection a3. That means I'm taking these 2 events together as one event. Okay, if I'm considering this together as one event, now for n equal to 2, whatever result we got, that I'll write here. I'll use that result here. So because this is one event intersection, this is the second event. So this will p of a1 intersection a2 into p of a3 given a1 intersection a2. Now this one for n equal to 2, you got a1 intersection a2 as p of a1 into p of a2 by a1 into this term as it is. So here again I got the same expression for 3 events. I got p of a1 intersection a2 intersection a3 is equal to a1, a2 by a1, a3 by a1 intersection a2. See, for 3 events, if I take one more event here, I should get this a1, a2 by a1, a3 by a1 intersection a2. So same expression, we got it here. So it is true for n equal to 3. Now let us assume that it is true for n equal to r events. So when I assume it as true for n equal to r events, this expression will write it. a1 intersection a2 intersection ar, a1, a2 by a1, a3 by a1 intersection a2, ar by a1 intersection a2 intersection ar minus 1. Whatever term you have here, suffix you have here, for the given term it will be minus 1. Now I have to prove that it is true for n equal to r plus 1 terms. So here p of a1 intersection a2 intersection ar plus 1. So what I'll do, after ar at the rth term only, I'll get r plus 1th term. So I'm rewriting this as a1 intersection a2 intersection ar intersection ar plus 1. So a1 to ar, I'm taking it as one event, ar plus 1 as the other event. So I will be having 2 events. So one is with r terms, another one is r plus 1th term. So this r term again, I have to use the expression which we got for n equal to 2 events. So here this will be one event. So p of a1 intersection a2 intersection ar into p of ar plus 1 given this previous event. So this is equal to, now this we got for n equal to r events, I got the expression a1, a2 by a1, a3 given a1 intersection a2, so on, ar given a1 intersection a2 intersection ar minus 1 plus this into this term. So I got now the same expression for n equal to r plus 1 terms also. So hence by the principle of mathematical induction, it is true for any positive integral values of n. So this is the multiplication theorem of probability to n events. Thank you.